told some people the other week that I would talk about why Trump. I ain't gonna tell you who I'm voting for. I wouldn't dare do that. I've never told you who I'm voting for, but I will tell you the advantages in what I see, because it's about now where the nation is going. If we don't get somebody in here that can fix this nation, we're in trouble, because it is at the worst it's ever been. I'm gonna go through these right quick. They will have the little points, PowerPoints on the screen for you to see. Put it on the main screen at the top. Number one, Trump already got 4 years experience. Number two, Trump is a businessman. We need a businessman to get us out of this mess. Trump has the ability to negotiate. When he was president, he was able to negotiate with world leaders, and it kept a lot of wars from happening. I'm sorry, Kamala does not have that experience. I've seen her deal with people like the president of Poland, and all she was doing was giggling. She didn't have nothing to say. Love my sister, I love her dearly, but when it comes to running this nation and impacting the world, we got to have somebody there that knows how to conduct business. There were no wars under Trump. Border control. The way he stopped the border problem, he went and called the Mexican president and said, look, if y'all don't stop the migrants from coming over, I'm going to have to charge you more on the products coming into the nation. The Mexican president immediately went and stopped it. Biden is saying, just give me some laws, make the Congress make me do it. No, he got the ability to go stop it now. They don't want to stop it. And it's getting ready to impact all of our lives. I'm sorry, the Democrats don't care nothing about you. All they care about is power. And next thing, I like the fact that Trump is not a politician. These are just my little considerations, so I'm evaluating both sides so I can make a quality, informed decision. I ain't gonna tell you nothing about who I'm voting for. But I like the way he shoots from the hip, because he's straight, he's honest, he just tell you how he feel. I've heard people say, Trump done lied this, Obama lied, Bush lied, Clinton lied. All presidents, when they get under pressure, will lie at different times. Some exaggerate. Number four, I like the fact he's his own man. Does not depend on nobody. He has boldness. He has strength. He won't let the media control him. And America needs strong leadership, because there's a deep state operating behind the scenes, and you got to have somebody strong. Number five, he promotes freedom and American values. I want to see America be safe, because right now, the Democrats are projecting a global world. That's why they bringing all these people in, and they want globalism, and they want it to be done through socialism, where the government controls everything. Trump wants America to be free. Next one, number six, he has provided the government let the government protect the church. Here's the baby for me. Trump did things when he was in office that protected the church. He made different executive orders. The reason I'm able to speak now is because of the executive order that allowed pastors to speak. If the church is not protected, persecution is coming, especially with this gay rights thing. They're going to push us out of business as best they can. Persecution is coming. Trump's presence holds that LGBTQ train up. That's why. That's the big one for me, because I'm a pastor and I love the Church of God. I may go to number seven. He prospered the African American community. Here's what black people don't know. He had a record low unemployment for our community. He created what is called opportunity zones, which was to give corporations incentives to come bring business into underserved communities. That would have carried the communities up. Not only that, he had policies for helping minority businesses grow, black businesses to grow. It was called the Minority Business Development Agency. Then he gave permanent funding to HBCU colleges, black colleges. He gave permanent funding. Then they came up with school choice that would allow black mothers who had their children in unsafe schools and poor performing schools, where they could take the tax dollars and use them to go to a charter school or a private school. He came up with the First Step Act that released over 3,000 prisoners, most of whom were black. Because of some of the charges that he felt was weak, he let them out and let them go free. He gave an executive order, watch this, after George Floyd's death. See, the media hadn't told you none of these things. After George Floyd's death, he had an executive order called the Safe Policing Act, which means police had to be careful about how they policed in African American communities. Media never told us about this, but go do your research and you'll see. There were 11 police on black crimes where 11 black guys were killed by the police. You remember the names: Michael Brown, Eric Garner, Trayvon Martin, Freddie Gray, and about 7 more. All of that happened under Obama's last term. Under Trump, after he passed that Safe Policing Act, there were only 2 that came during his 4 years, and that was George Floyd and Breonna Taylor. You don't see nothing else happening because he got in there, passed legislation, made the police start tightening up on what they were doing. That didn't happen up under Obama. This is stuff they don't say. He voted for Obama the first time in 2008. Media won't tell you that. Trump will protect capitalism, which is our way of life. We don't want socialism because it means the government controls everything in our lives. Number 9, Trump will decrease inflation. The inflation is up, the prices are up because of the policies of Biden and Harris. Trump, when he left office, the inflation rate was at 8%. Right now, it's at 20%. That's why your groceries are high. That's why the gas is high. Interest rates on mortgages are high. It's about how we gonna live, y'all. Number 10, Trump gave tax cuts to the middle class. That's why black people will say, I had more money when Trump was in office. That's why. Tax cuts. Kamala has already announced that she wants to increase the taxes, particularly on the corporations. Socialism hates business, so they always after the rich. So they think if we tax the rich, take more from them, make them pay their fair share, then we doing real good. But what happens is those corporations now will pass that cost down to us. That's where we will pay it. I think the cutoff is $400,000. Anything below $400,000 will not be taxed. But when they get taxed, they got to pass that cost down, and you'll feel it when you go to the grocery stores. Trump came in office. The corporate tax rate was at 33% under Obama. He came and lowered it to 21%. And then all the corporations started coming back because they could make a profit. And that brought the jobs back. That's what made the economy boom. Democratic policies don't do that. Next thing, he's promised that he will never touch Social Security nor Medicare. What's going to mess with Medicare is all of these migrants coming in, and they're going to put them on that roll, and that's how you're going to be impacted. But Trump has promised. He didn't do it the first 4 years. He didn't touch it then, and he's never made a statement out there, but they want to scare black senior citizens. 13, Trump removed the individual mandate in Obamacare. Under Obamacare, if you didn't have insurance, you could be penalized. He came and he moved that out the way. Here's the next thing. Kamala them wants to have government health care. That means private health care. You done worked all your life, got a good job, got good health care. Under the Democrats, they want government health care, everybody under Medicare. And that means the government will not be able to pay for everything that is required for our insurance. I want my own private health care because I'm in control of that with my doctors. And when Obamacare first came out, they promised that you can have your plan and your doctor, and many people lost their plans and their doctors. 14. Trump will be respected by world leaders. We need somebody up there. I promise you, what's happening in Iran and Israel right now would have never happened if Trump was in office. Never. What happened to Israel back in October last year would have never happened because those world leaders revere Trump. I just heard where Putin, who's over Russia, he just got through saying who he wanted to be president. Guess what he said? Kamala. Why? He feels like he got a better chance to control her than Trump. So we need somebody that he fears. Because y'all, with all of these migrants, military-age soldiers coming in to this nation right now, there's an invasion going on in America right now. Next thing, Trump made the military stronger. It had died, gotten weak under Obama's 8 years because Obama didn't do nothing to build up the arsenal. Trump came in, built up the military. Here's another thing. All this woke and gay stuff is in the military now, and now the enrollment is down from the soldiers enrolling to be in the army because they don't want to be sleeping next to folk that have all these weird sexual perversions. And so now the numbers are down. Trump had a executive order that demanded that they couldn't be in the military. That's why it weakens the military. Biden came in, opened the door for them to come back in, and now the numbers are low. We ain't got enough folk almost to protect us if we were ever invaded. Next thing, the border crisis was stopped. I told you about that earlier. The next thing, Trump will protect Israel because God says whoever protects Israel, God was going to bless. Whoever goes against Israel, God will not bless. And Biden and Harris have been very slow in helping Netanyahu in Israel. They have not embraced them as they should. 18. Trump will make us energy independent. The reason the gas prices almost came up under $2 under Trump, was because Trump believed in fracking. What is fracking? Drilling your own oil in your own land so you won't have to depend on the Middle East. That brought the gas prices down. Kamala is not for fracking. She's trying to change now because she's running for president. But if you go back and hear her rhetoric years ago, she stated that I'm against fracking. Why? When you got energy right here that can take the gas prices down for the people? No, it's because they are dedicated to those environmental climate change people, and that's another whole story. So we need to be energy independent. Trump is going to challenge unfair trade practices because China has been ripping America off. Trump bought billions of dollars back into our nation because of those trade practices. Trump has policies, transgender policies, so it can protect morality. And I told you about the morale problem in the military. Restrooms, he put an executive order that you got to go to the bathroom of your biological birth. Democrats don't do that. 21, Trump wants to protect the unborn because a curse comes over America when we kill God's babies, and especially if it's in the law. 22, Trump wants to protect parental rights. Right now, Democrats in different places are taking the children, giving them an opportunity. They call them children's rights, meaning you ain't got to go to your parents. If you want your private part cut off, you ain't got to ask your parents. God says the parents are responsible for the children. Next thing, Trump is tough on crime. The reason we dealing with the crime problem now is because we don't have nobody tough on crime. Not only at the top, but also in our cities. Our district attorneys are Democrat. They are liberal, and they are putting these guys back out on the streets. And so we got to have somebody that's going to be tough on crime so we can be protected. Our property can be protected. And Kamala is not that person. She's not going to do that. Next thing, we need to have school. No, I'm sorry. Go to 23. I missed that. Trump will protect the right to bear arms. I just showed you a film last week how Kamala said that we're going to come into your house and we're going to see if you're doing your guns properly. Constitutionally, the government ain't got no right to come in my house. They got to have a warrant for anything I've done wrong. So that means she's going to break the Constitution in order to come in our houses to check on our guns. You know why? Because socialism wants to take people's rights away from protecting themselves. She's a socialist. And then the last thing is school choice. I've already talked about that. I know I'm long tonight. Y'all forgive me. I wanted to end it so I wouldn't have to I'm going to another topic on next week. Pray that you've been blessed.